What is good, everybody? This is your man Monteasy, the Titan, Lord Raiden, Teasy Jones, and you are now listening to me on the Youngest in the Yacht Club podcast. Salute.
They want the money and fame. We go to the city and we don't be tucking our chain. Woke up in paradise and we live in the drain. I know it won't be the same. Someone go put a cocaine. Fly Latino gang. I used to dream of something like this. Remember times I was
Youngest in the Yacht Club. I am Vince Serrano. Man, Youngest in the Yacht Club, they always say that, it encompasses a lot. It's different. We talk about health and wellness. We talk about, sports fitness. We talk about industry leaders and entrepreneurs. Today we have a special guest, man. Somebody who's killing it in the music industry, but in a wave that you probably wouldn't understand. We got Monteasy, man. What's up, my brother?
What's good, King? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm glad that you're here,
Thank
bro.
you for the invite, bro. I thank you for the olive branch, the opportunity. It was great meeting you at the conference that you and Striz put together, and it's great to be here, man. I saw what you was doing on Instagram. I hit you up. I said, bro, this podcast is just truth, bro.
Thank you,
know
bro.
what I mean? And I love another fellow entrepreneur, another person on the grind, brother, and I appreciate the invitation,
Bro, you already know, man. We're going to make this thing pop, man.
Bless, King, bless.
Man, so we were just talking off camera about, the things that you're doing, but I always like to start off Youngest in the Yacht Club with, who is Monteasy?
Monteasy is a father, entrepreneur, spiritual man of God, a focused individual, more of a, if you relate me to a video game, I'm like the Hitman video game. I'm very cerebral. I'm a cerebral person, very loving, caring, give anybody a shirt off my back, give opportunity. I love to give back. A universal believer of karma. I believe that whatever you give back to the universe, God, is what you get back. How you treat people is how you be received. Mm-hmm. And also a man that, I'm not perfect in many ways. I have my mistakes that I've made in life, but, I try to be a man of accountability, loyalty, and respect.
That's fire, bro. That's important, man. I feel like those values are, and they align with what we're doing. I think that's like the values of success, man, when you're asking people, man, especially the part of giving, man, that's important because, you get what you give, basically, bro.
Amen.
And so being that type of person, bro, you've come through a lot, man. Where are you from, man? Where's Monteasy from?
I'm originally from Queens, New York.
Okay.
Originally from Queens, New York. Now residing in St. Petersburg, Florida. I've been here most of my life. In my mid-30s now, so I've been here most of my life. A lot of my values come from both areas. Raised by my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my mom, all respectively. Rest in peace to my great-grandma. But, learned a lot of values from my granddad. A lot of a very, very tight-knit value family is where I come from. A family of honor, of unity, of us helping each other out, of us putting everything we have together, family of resources. I was the oldest sibling, so I have multiple younger siblings, but I grew up with my sister and my little brother from my mom's side. So, it's been, a great value system I grew up around here in Florida. And, from my youngest time in New York, being able to, learn the value of family, learn the value of work ethic. There's sometimes the cable is off. Sometimes the light gets turned off. But guess what? We find a way to get them back on. If we got to have candles for a day or two till we figure it out. If we didn't have cable for a little bit, put the antennas on the TV.
Yeah.
As long as we have food on the table and we had each other, we was going to find some entertainment.
Amen.
And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's
you
what
be on, right?
That will be on entertainment. You know what I mean? I was an avid video gamer, played football for a little while. Sports, more in athletics, basketball, stuff like that. Yeah, my short self was into basketball, but really, and then I was always into wrestling too. So just really a humble, laid back kid. Growing up, grew up with great values from my family. Always was a homebody. Stayed to myself. Not really the kind of person that was always out there. Never been in trouble. Never got caught up in the system or anything. But just someone that was very instilled on values. I watched growing up a lot of people would do things, and then the results would always come back. I would see, like if somebody was a drug dealer, eventually, you know what was going to happen. It was two ways. To either you get out, God forbid, deceased or incarcerated.
Right.
So I saw the universal laws of life growing up, and saw how if you do good things, it might take you a while for your deposit in the bank to come back.
Right.
But if you do good things and you don't think about it, you just do good things, life will, you know what I mean, always come back in your favor. I thoroughly believe in that. So my younger life, you know what I mean, I did have a great relationship with my pops, and my granddad was the one that got me into music.
That's beautiful.
And my grandma. So, you know, with them too, I was able to learn the value of music starting at 15. I started writing. So that's my childhood, man. I loved it. Loved Florida. Loved the area. I'm not a Four Seasons type guy.
Right.
I like it to be sunny on Christmas. So
I love that.
You know what I mean? So that's my life, man. That's my life.
That's beautiful, man. You get that here, bro. You get that in Florida, man. It's gonna be sunny on Christmas.
Amen, brother. Amen.
And it's not gonna be too cold. You ain't gonna be too cold, right?
If I go to the beach on Christmas with the kids, I'm cool with that.
Good,
I'm
right?
not trying to be stuck in the house where there's ice on the driveway and I can't drive for 3 months. I got to change my tires during the season.
Yeah.
You know, I can't drive the same tires.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it gets cold on the road and all. I'm cool with
Not
that.
your
Chief.
thing. Yeah.
Cool with that, Chief. I'm good, man. I'm good with that.
Bro, you talked about you talked about your upbringing, which is awesome. You also talked about your family core values and you know how you guys put things together. You also, you know, segued into music, man. What got you into music? Like, what was that kind of like inspiration that said, "Hey, look, you know, I could do this."
You know, it's funny. My grandmother used to always play old music in the house. Bobby Womack. I mean, everybody, the Temptations, Marvin Gaye, who's her favorite singer of all time. My grandmother, she would play, you name it. I mean, Curtis Mayfield, everybody.
Everyone.
James Brown, Michael Jackson. So hearing those songs, kind of, you realize the subconscious when you're young.
Yeah.
When you get older, you realize what the subconscious and what that does to your mental in a good way,
right,
and your spirit. So I didn't grow up with any like musical background, or my dad was a musician, or my cousin was this and that. No, I was always just kind of subconscious. Always fell in love with music. Then as I got older, my mom introduced me to different genres of music. So my mom would play Dave Matthews Band. She would play Red Hot Chili Peppers. So my grandma grew me up on the R&B and soul side.
Right.
My mom grew me up on hip-hop, the Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, to Dave Matthews Band, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The alternative looking.
Metallica. So I grew up on all different sides of the realms.
That's fire.
You know, so even with my musical talents now, if you hear my stuff, it could be rock included in it.
Yeah.
It could be aggressive rock. It could be rap. It could be R&B. I've been very well versed.
Yeah.
So my granddad included in me, because when I told him, I said, man, I want to start making music. My granddad bought me an acoustic guitar. Didn't end up playing it. It's a life goal of mine to learn how to play in honor of him. You know, sometime in my life, that's a life goal of mine to learn how to play the acoustic guitar, because he bought me one. He didn't know what I wanted to do, whether it was writing music or whatever, but he bought me a guitar because he loved me.
Right.
And we was in New York and Long Island, and he bought me a guitar. And I remember one day, we were at a pizza shop randomly, and Flavor Flav walks in. And he's with this young lady, asking her if she wants a pizza. So my granddad, I'm sitting there. Now, mind you, I'm not really starstruck. I know who he is, but I'm not starstruck like that.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going to tell him that you do music. And I'm like, no, don't do that in my head. He goes over there. I walk with him. I'm nervous. Walk up to him. He tells him that I do music and that this is his grandson. And Flavor Flav was really cool about it. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But it taught me not to be, that I noticed that I wasn't starstruck. And that it taught me how to approach people and never be afraid to approach people. And even if they take the olive branch or if they don't, never be afraid of anybody, or don't let your status go down or be afraid of a certain status, or introduce yourself to somebody, because you never know. And even he was cool about it, and he was ordering food and stuff like that. He had security with him, and the security was real cool.
Yeah.
I remember that that happened when I was 14, 15 years old, and it taught me that very, very early. So I took that with me. in later in life, being able to approach people, message people about opportunities, whether they take it or not. I'm not afraid of anything. And then, and to be able, he always said, my granddad always said, when you walk in the room, no matter what their status is or what your status is, always feel like you're a sense of importance. When somebody, even with a higher brand, walks into the room, always be like, hey, at the time, my rap name was The Message. God bless America. My rap name was The Message. And he's like, when you walk into the room, let them know, yo, I'm somebody too. I'm Antoine. Like, I'm The Message. So anytime I walk into the room with anybody, no matter what profile, I'm Monteasy. I'm somebody too. I'm not just a fan of you. I'm a personality. I'm a peer of yours. He always told me that. Then I started making music with my mentor, Sharmello Durant. God bless. He produced Put Your Hands on My Eyes Can See for Busta Rhymes.
Oh, wow.
He made, he produced for P.D. Pablo, Belle Biv DeVoe. He passed away last year, my mentor. He was the person that, when I started writing music and learning and trying to, back in the day, we had LimeWire and all the, don't pirate music, people. But, I used to get beats, instrumentals. 50 Cent, Eric Sermon, Wu-Tang Clan, Method Man, Lloyd Banks, those guys who I started listening to, T.I., Ludacris. And I would write, and I would just focus on writing. Talib Kweli is one of my biggest inspirations. I would write music, and learn. I didn't know formats. I didn't know bars.
Right.
I had to learn that stuff. Obviously, as you write yourself, you learn that technique.
Right.
But the mentor, Sharmello, he would be the person that I would get on the phone. At the time, I was watching like Cassidy and guys. I could freestyle for like 20 minutes, but I could never write a song.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't formulate a record. Wow. But I was one of them dudes where you put a beat on and we're standing out the car. I'm impressing people for 30 minutes rapping, but I couldn't formulate a song.
Wow.
So one day I called Sharmello my mentor. My granddad introduced me to Sharmello because he helped raise Sharmello, and Sharmello was in a group home.
Wow.
He was my granddad was a counselor, and he mentored Sharmello. So he introduced me to Sharmello. He said, yeah, he's a famous producer. So he introduced me to Sharmello. Funny story. I'm sitting there talking to Sharmello on the phone. I'm like 17. I'm cocky. I swear I'm fired. I swear
I'm fired, bro.
I swear I'm that dude, bro. He said, let me hear something. I'm on the phone, man. I'm rapping my life away, bro. The beat's on. I'm spitting. And he's like, and then what? I said, crushed. He's like, okay. He's like, and then what? He's like, okay, you rap this for 30 minutes. He's like, can you formulate a record? Can you rap a song? Can you write? Can you put anything together? He was very critical of me. And at the time, that was my first time hearing something like that from somebody in the industry. And of course, I took it well. Yeah. But I didn't. I didn't get loud with him or nothing. I was calm. I was cool. But it kind of crushed my world for a second because he was teaching me as I got older, when it came from mentor to mentee to two peers. He taught me, he's like, you were good, but I had to teach you rejection early. So if you learn how to take criticism to your art early, you don't take it personal later. You now can learn how to take that criticism. So for years, before he told me why he was doing it, he would always tell me he didn't like it. Could be better. You're getting there. He would give me little nuggets. Sometimes as time went on, he gave me more praise. Right. But at the very beginning, he was hard on me. Yeah. And he was like, nah, man. He's like, nah, that's not good enough, bro. Go back to the notebook, rewrite that, redo that. And whereas, before he passed away last year, one day he told me, he said, you were always good. I just wanted to teach you the art of rejection and how to take your art and not to take it personal to the point where you affect relationships with people because you're so passionate about it that somebody else might not feel what you're saying, and that's okay. I want you to instill the belief in it and for you to get better. He said, I might not like every song you make now, but even when we talk about it, when you say what you do, what I say and I don't like, you take it in stride. Right. You say what you believe in, but you don't get offended. And he's like, I wanted to teach you that at 17, 18 because I believe in you.
How to be a student of the game, how to be a student of rejection, how to be able to put yourself out there and take criticism and understand that it's a part of life.
Yes, and I'm glad he did that. Now I look back at it and I say, wow, I see what he did.
He made you tough.
He made me tough. He made me tougher. Now, when I help other artists, I don't necessarily do this way. Right. But And I needed it for myself at that time. This was a different time, too. This
Right.
is 06, 07,
Right.
08. This is a different time.
Right.
So now I look at it in the sense of saying, okay, I see what he was trying to do. And it helped me on the entrepreneurial side, too. Because now when I can speak to artists, I can speak from both sides.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my inclination to start in the music industry.
That's fire, man. That's dope that you got in there, and it's dope that you had, rest in peace to your mentor, man, Shamelo, man. That's dope.
Thank you, Ken.
It's fire that you had somebody that was in there that was willing to even take the time out to even give you that type of lesson, So that's dope, man. You had heavy people in there. What made you go in the direction that you've gone in? So, obviously you're writing songs, you learn how to formulate the songs. What was the next move after that? Now he's teaching you those lessons. How are you finding the lane? And I know we're going to get into the lane of where you're at.
Absolutely.
But what were you trying to do at that time?
So to give you a time frame, before the lane that we talk about, this is from 2006 to about 2013, end of 2013. So think about that, that almost...
That 6 years, 7 years.
6 year, 7 year gap period.
Yeah.
So at the time, I'm just writing music, man. I'm doing like everybody else when you're young. I'm learning to record. 2008, I went to my first professional studio. Shout out to Wiz Productions in Bradenton.
Fire.
He was the first person I went to. I actually did it the old-fashioned way. Before then, I went to Google, and at the time, this is when we still had dial-up, AOL dial-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You remember them days? And I started saying, hey, how can you get recording equipment? My granddad said, go find recording equipment. I literally bought him a studio microphone. I didn't have no idea what I was doing.
Wow.
I had a USB mic. I searched it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just going to figure this out.
Yeah.
Terrible. I could not engineer. My software was terrible. I was horrible. But you know what? Those are the humble beginnings, and I wanted it. I didn't know the business yet. I didn't know ASCAP, BMI, registrations. I didn't know none of that. All I wanted to do was learn, work on my craft. At the time, once again, don't pirate music, people. I would get instrumentals from different places, and I would rap, and I would learn. I had a software called Cubase, obviously.
Cubase, yeah.
To record my vocals, and I was terrible. I didn't know how to engineer.
Wow.
I just clicked buttons. If it sounded clear enough,
It was good.
I would put it on a burn CD, pass it around to school. My audio was terrible.
Right.
I didn't care. 15 songs over different people's beats. I didn't know producers.
Right.
I didn't know nothing. I would rap over Lloyd Banks beats, Talib Kweli beats, T.I. beats.
Wow.
And I didn't, man, it was hard, but you know what? I wanted it. I wanted it. I kept rapping. I kept working on my skills. I learned how to formulate bars and hooks, and I learned that, and I worked at it. I had notebooks and notebooks. I was in school in 06, 08, 07, like in college, just writing raps, writing.
Just being honed in.
Just honed in, working on my craft, reading a dictionary. I didn't want to sound like, now that I write, I don't want to sound like an encyclopedia. But it's good to have that vocabulary to be able to do different writing techniques.
Right.
I remember hearing about Eminem reading a dictionary, and I wanted to read a dictionary and learn how to say words and do words differently. So when I started in 08, at the time, you know what I mean? I'm 20 years old. I'm in there, and I'm in the professional studio for the first time.
Wow.
So now I reach out, find the engineer, shout out to Wiz once again, and I'm in there recording. At this time, I have a little bit of experience, so I know how to record. I know what a punchline is. He taught me about ad-libs, and I know I learned how to do it.
Yeah.
So now, I'm in there, my style back then was like kind of real New York. So
Right.
real aggressive, boom bap. Before I started switching stuff
Lyricism,
up.
all that.
Lyricism, that's all I cared about back
Yeah.
then. So to prove I could write, when you're young, you got that lion energy. You want to prove you can just rap.
Right.
So those good old days of being in the studio. So from that 6 year gap, I'm just putting stuff out like anybody else. I learned about CD Baby, about royalties. I slowly started learning the business, how to do it, how to put the music out there, how to get graphic art. Like anybody else, I'm calling record labels. So from 2006 to 2013, I heard from many different record labels the same thing. You're good, but we don't know where to put you right now. And I kept hearing that from independent labels. You're good, but we don't see a market for what you do. You're good, but, you know, you're good and your music is dope, but we don't see, you know what I mean? I went to those sites where you kind of pay to get people to listen to your music, where you pay for credits and record labels hit you back and stuff. I'm sending out CDs, songs, emailing. I'm hungry. I'm doing this all myself.
Doing it all.
Hungry, bro. Labels was telling me, man, you know, you're good, but, you know, we don't see no issue. We don't see no use for you right now. We don't know where to put you. The industry's kind of moving in a different place. You kind of have a New York style. I said, okay. All right. So for those 6 years, I was putting out regular content, videos, just trying to figure it out, man. And then as years went on, about 2012, 13, I had a more understanding about putting stuff out there, about receiving royalties, what's being my ass cap, how to register your music. I YouTubed this stuff and figured it out myself. You know what I mean? And that's slowly, shortly before I got into the lane and met Strizzo as well around that time, shortly before that.
So just really just grinding, like in that 7-year span, just really just learning, you know, what works, what doesn't work for you.
Dude, I remember though. Man. Shout out to my brothers, Mike, David, and D. Lethal Weapon at the time. The rap names Lethal Weapon, Young Swift, and Castro the General, and I was the Message. And I was like 17, 18. We used the rap group. We were supposed to be in MTV Cribs by the time we was 25. Man, we were supposed to, you know, I was the leader of the rap group, and we were called the New Era. And we were a rap group, and we were young, and they was in the house with me at the same time recording. And this is about 2009, 10, the rap group, you know what I mean? At the time, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
We're just rapping, man.
Y'all just putting it together.
We sharing pizzas in the studio writing bars, man.
Yeah.
My homie Chris, shout out to my man Chris Olivier, man. His rap name was Confusion. We used to be on the phone for hours, running up my grandma's phone bill. It's back when we had landlines, bro.
Yeah.
We still had landline phones. Shout out to the people that still got landline phones.
Hey.
We were in there, bro. We used to be on the phone. I used to have, you know, the little port, you know, the boombox speakers.
Yeah.
Burn CDs of beats. Me and him used to rap together, sparring for hours. And it built my skill so well. I thank him every time I speak to him, because me and him would go back and forth, rapping over beats. All the beats would be playing. I'm blowing up the volume in my grandma's house. She ain't saying nothing because she knew what I was doing.
Right.
I'm in there rapping over the phone, lyrically just spitting. All this time, for all those about those 6 years, we was doing that. And looking back at it now, man, that you asked that question, those are some of the most formative times of my life. And I miss some of them days because even though I'm a formulated songwriter now, you get older, you kind of mellow out.
Right.
I wish that certain things, it's more, and you know how to control your rage.
Right.
But when you're young, sometimes you miss that rage you had.
Yeah, that aggression.
That aggression. I don't care. You want me to spit something? Yo.
Let's go.
Like, bro, it was an amazing time for those 6 years. From that formative years, from meeting Charbello with my granddad in the early 2000s to 2013.
Fire, bro. Fire. So you put all those things together. You went through, you know, basically trial by fire, what you were going through. Learning, you know, you were still rocking with Shamello during that time, even during that time?
Yes, sir.
That's fire. So he's still giving you feedback, too.
Yep, the feedback's easing up, but he's seeing what I'm doing.
Yeah, he sees that you're committed.
Yeah.
That's fire. 2013 comes through. What's next?
So, my son is 2.5 years old, so his mom is on his way to work. She says, I'm about to drop off your son. I'm about to go to work. Okay, cool. She drops him off. Mind you, I'm in the back room, kind of just resting before my son comes. He's coming like 7 in the morning.
Right.
She's working like a 7 to 3 shift at the time. So on the left, I used to watch TV on the computer. At the time, there was a program called the WWE Network.
Right.
So you could go in, all the pay-per-views are stream on there. You pay $9.99 a month. You could watch all the pay-per-views, any pay-per-view you want. So 2014, January 2014 comes. And I'm watching the pay-per-view from the previous year, the Royal Rumble.
Right. Where
The Rock was wrestling CM Punk. During that during that match, 3 guys came out during the match, and 3 of them, one of the guys was named Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
So this is when he first debuted. Now, mind, this is the previous year he already debuted.
Okay, so you're watching the year before.
Right, I'm watching the year before. Randomly, he's already a star. He's already a breakout star by himself by the time I write this record. I said, I'm going to write a song about him. The universe just randomly happened with this. I had no plan of doing the lane I ended up getting in. Right. I just ended up doing it. The universe, like, I never did it before. I had no idea what I was doing. The universe, I just write a song about the guy. So I go on Wikipedia. Some of the stuff is true, some of the stuff is not. And I ended up writing a song called Heart of a Warrior, Roman Reigns. And I just randomly did it. I found a beat. Shout out to my guy, NY Bangers. At the time, still in New York. NY Bangers. Shout out to my guy, NY Bangers. He just produced give him a shout out. He just produced a song for Scarlett. Get the nut out New York. Get the nut back.
Hey.
That's his beat.
Okay.
So that's my man. He produced Ooh for Young Ma, too.
That's fine.
So he he made that. I want to give him a shout out in his credits. So at the time, he's still on the come up. I'm on the come up. I'll buy the beat from him. And I randomly write this song called Roman Reigns. And I go to Google and I find history facts about Roman Reigns. I tell a story about him. I had no idea what I was doing. I just did it. At the time, I had no money. My grandmother gives me money. She said, go to the studio and do it. She said, I believe in you doing this. My grandmother gave me the money to go to the studio and do it because I didn't have it. I went to the studio and I recorded it. I went to Sarasota and I recorded that record. Got a ride to the studio and I recorded that.
Fine.
You know? And I put it out there. And that was the first time I experienced any success like that. Wrestling fans got a hold of it and it went viral. That was my first time people was going viral.
Wow.
It went all over the world. I'm getting hit up by wrestling. I was overwhelmed. Now, mind you, I'm just doing regular music by that.
Right.
I randomly did this song and just put it out there. Roman Reigns Heart of War. I put it out on Facebook. I didn't know anybody. I just literally just put it on post on my status. This new song called Roman Reigns Heart of a Warrior for this wrestler. It literally went from 30 comments on my Facebook. People got a hold of it. It spread it. People started sharing. I had 200 shares that day. And it literally went viral.
Wow.
Literally. It went all over Facebook. Then it went to Twitter when Twitter started 2009. So it went to Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it just started spreading like wildfire. And I'm like, wow, this is the first time I'm on Facebook groups. I'm getting tagged. His family hit me up. His personal family. His rest in peace to his brother Rosie. His brother used to be Rosie in the WWE in the mid-2000s. Hit me up. And I ended up having a close relationship with his older brother. Wow. And his whole family ended up ingratiating me into their family. I just recently got inducted into the WXW Wrestling Hall of Fame. Wow. From their family. Wow. Last year for all the work that I've done for them. Wow. So it went spread like wildfire. So I'm thinking, my mind starts spinning. This is where the entrepreneurial side of the universe comes in.
Youngest in the Yacht Club.
How can I do this? I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm not just going to go straight to the WWE trying to get the WWE attention. Because at the time, I know that there's very rare on they would do hip-hop back then. Right. It's very weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't fit.
Right, it didn't fit. If I'm going to take this over, I need to start from the bottom. My friend invites me to a meet and greet because Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler of all time. Wow. I love Bret Hart. He said, hey, man, this is a couple months later. Hey, man, Bret Hart's going to be here in Maryland. Do you want to come up and stay with me and go meet him, meet your idol? He said, Jimmy Hart's going to be here. I know you recently just booked an interview with him just to do it. Because I recently did an interview with Jimmy Hart. So at that time, I did a Roman Reigns song, and I booked the interview with Jimmy Hart. Wow. And I just did it just to do it. Yeah. So I ended up going to Maryland, and I ended up meeting Bret. And then at the time, the main event of the match, independent, circuit, small territory in Maryland. A guy by that name was Drolix. He was the heavyweight champion at the time. Shout out to my big bro Drolix, who introduced me to the wrestling business. He's the one that brought me in. Wow. So I want to give him his props and his credit because he's the one that brought me in the game. So 2014, I end up watching the match. I'm sitting in front row, and he bought tickets. My manager bought tickets, and he's coming out. He's coming out to the a song by The Game. He taps me and he says, "You need to make something for him." And he ends up he's my manager for a long time. My best friend Rich. I love you, Rich. Thank you for this. He tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "You need to make something for him." I'm like, "I do?" He said, "Yeah, you need to do this." He said, "You need to make something unique for him." I said, "Okay." So he coordinates. They end up speaking to him on Twitter, late 2014, early 2015. Hits him up. "Hey, man, he wants to make a custom song for you." And then he's trying to speak through me, asking me, do I want to charge? I said, "No, don't charge him. Let me introduce myself for what I want to do. I'll get the money back later. Right now, I want to build the relationship." So he said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Just ask him some details about him. Ask him some details." He ends up giving me details, finish a move, where he's from. So I ended up looking on YouTube, finding a beat, like an MOP sounding beat. And he wanted some up north hard banging beat. So I randomly bought the beat and I randomly made the song. And he ended up taking it and using it. And I said, "I'm going to do this for everybody."
This works.
I'm going to do this for everybody. I don't want any money. So from 2014 to, now in between this time I met Swerve, in between this time. But from 2014 to about 2017, I cornered the market. I did it for everybody I could. Didn't charge a dime for about 2-3 years. You wanted one, you hit me up, I got you. Then slowly, pay for the studio time, I got you. $50 an hour studio time. Then I slowly started getting my business up and how I did it. You want to do it? I got you. Wrestlers all over the world.
Wow.
Hit me up. It spread from Maryland. Then it went to New York. Then it went to Georgia. Then everybody started. Because one thing about marketing and business, I don't care how many ads you put on Facebook. I don't care how many ads you put on Instagram. That stuff helps. But word of mouth is still the best promotion.
That's it.
Because if you tell me something that you believe in, "Hey, yo, check out my man. Strizzo said, yo, check out Vinny. Check out what he's doing." I'm going to check it out because I trust his word.
Right.
So if my homie sends you a song, "Yo, check this dude out." Even if you don't like it, you're going to listen to
I'm going to put it on.
Because my man told me.
Because you just said to.
And that's the word of mouth that happened in the wrestling industry.
Referral.
Who made that song? Who made that song? Who did this? So that company Draws was in. I ended up making theme songs for like 5 wrestlers at that time.
Wow.
So I had 5 of my records playing that night. And I did this for companies for years. There'd be times, and there's still times now, that when wrestlers come out, and like let's say a card is 8 matches, I have like 6 songs.
Wow.
For years I did this.
Quartered the market.
And I'm still doing it. And that's why I said at the press conference, I Lil Wayne the market. I said I can't Kendrick Lamar this situation.
No.
I have to be Lil Wayne.
Right.
You want a song? Send it. I'll give you a day later. Send it. I'll do it a day later. Give me a week. Got you. Sometimes I will, and I still do now, have like 5 songs I have to do.
Right.
6 songs. 7 songs. For years I did this. Years. Cornered the market. Song. You want a song? Got you. You want a song? Got you. Where you from? What's your finishing move? You from Delaware? You like this beat? Okay, cool. Then they came to the point where they trusted me with the music. So I would just do it and send it to them. And 98% of the time they liked it.
They liked it. Yo, it's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they used it for years. Now, mind you, I knew what I was doing because I didn't automatically put all these songs out for sale. I just did it just to get the name out there.
Right.
I'm not even putting on streaming platforms yet. Around 2018, 19, I was very selective which ones I put out for people to get. The bigger the brand name, the more I'd put it out for people to get it.
Right.
But for people that was on the come up, I'll put it out there. Now, if they ask me, even now if they ask me to put it out, I'll put it on distributive platforms, and I'll look out for them. They look out for me. Promo, exposure, keep the name out there.
Right.
And now, I've gone into, this is my 9th year doing it.
Wow.
So from 2014 to now, you just passed year 9. Next year will be my 10-year anniversary. I'm going to do a special video, 10 years on Roman Reigns as well, on like a behind the scenes, like a commemorative 10 years of that song and how it happened. So from 2014, I do Roman Reigns' Heart of a Warrior. In the meantime of this, I am still in the independents doing songs for people.
Right.
2015, I dropped John Cena Triumphant about John Cena. 2015, I do that. 2016, I go all across the indies and I do the work. Then 2017, I make the song for Swerve. So from 2015, I meet Swerve at the same promotion that I performed live for Drolix, who put me on.
Right.
He's in the match with Swerve. I meet Swerve in 2015. 2017, me and Swerve start working.
Wow.
He asked me to make his theme song after booking an interview. He asked me to make his theme song. I make his theme song called Swerve. Shout out to Zai Hyros, who did a great job on the hook. And then that takes me to another level. Because at the time, he's an up-and-coming star. But he's still one of the main event guys on the indies, on the smaller promotions.
Right.
So his cosign in 2017, even before we started podcasting together, brought me to the next level. So I kept that same hustle when I got the cosign. I never stopped. I still, from even then to now, I'm still grinding. I'm still hustling. Still in the studio all the time.
Same formula.
Then now I said, okay, you have other people making wrestling music. I said, how can I be the brand stamp name? How can I be the Jay-Z of this? I said, I need to run this like it's a record label. I need to record label this. I need to stamp this and run this like a label. I need to be the main connect to help artists get opportunities and get their songs. Even if the companies aren't paying, I'm going to be the guy to help them get direct exposure through my music and my lane and what I do, to help them get another avenue to help build their brand names. Even if the wrestling companies aren't necessarily paying, through the brand name of Monteasy, the collaboration, and my cosign, I can help other artists do different avenues and try different things.
Fire.
So I sat back and I thought about it literally as a business. And as I've gotten older in the game, I started looking at it as an executive and an artist. Because eventually, your eventual goal is to go from artist to executive.
Absolutely.
You want to be
Jay-Z, the Diddy,
right. You want to be
mogul.
that. So how can I do that on the wrestling side? So that's the lane I'm in now. I do drop music. When I do drop music videos, it's with somebody who is there.
Right.
So it helps my brand name as well.
Yeah, you're already at that level where you're at that.
You can't go back.
Yeah.
You still give back, but you can't go back.
Right.
That's no disrespect to anybody.
No, that's just how it is. It's
right.
real.
You give back, but you don't go back.
That's fine.
So that's how I did things. So when I recently did the Sammy Guevara record, I did Sammy Guevara's first record in AEW. This is my fourth AEW song.
Fire.
So that's the record that you just recently saw me drop.
Yeah.
So that has been my whole lane from 14 to now and how I did things.
That's fire, bro. That's dope, man. And so you link up with Swerve, you're on the grind. Now, how does it feel to see, obviously you're watching wrestling, right? How does it feel to see somebody come out to your song on live national TV?
Dude, see, this is the thing. Many people, when they become successful, they start to lose that feeling. And sometimes they don't appreciate it as much because they start to look at things in a way to where it's almost expected. I don't feel that way. In the music industry, you can have a legacy. You could be here today. They don't see you for 6 months.
You fell off.
Where Monteasy at?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I always appreciate that. Whenever I hear that song, my song for Sammy Guevara, the first one I made for him, debuted in the very first televised AEW match ever.
Wow.
Him versus Cody Rhodes. The very first match ever on TNT, televised wrestling for that company. My song was the second song ever played in the company.
Fire.
Live. I don't lose inclination of that. I appreciate it. You know how many rappers out here trying to...
Bruh, they trying to get their song played, period, by people.
Remember we was at the conference and the guy was talking about getting his song played on the radio?
Yeah.
It's hard out here, bro. And salute to him, bro. I hope his music goes as far as he can take it.
Right.
But it's hard out here, bro. And for somebody to be coming out to your song and to see all the metrics and everybody coming, I love this song, I love that song. It feels great now. The first song I made for Sammy is called Take Flight. This one's called Energy. I'm looking at the comments to see what song they like better.
Yeah.
Oh, Take Flight was better. Energy. Keep talking about me.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I never lose that feeling. Whenever I'm in the studio recording these songs, I never lose that feeling. It feels good because I came a long way, but you don't ever want to feel yourself too much. You want to celebrate it.
Right.
You want to take it in. You want to acknowledge your accomplishments.
Right.
But the greats say, what's next?
Let's do it again.
Let's figure out a way to do it again.
Yeah.
And not only that, how can I help others while I do it again? Because the one thing I learned about life, truest thing, if anybody, from the Yacht Club can take anything that I'm saying, and you know this, the more you try to hold on to everything, the more it gets taken away.
Yep. The scarcity mindset.
You can't do it.
Nah, you can't catch nothing like this, bro. You gotta give. You gotta put it out.
You have to
hands out.
Be of service to others.
Fine.
So what I did was I started building a team of music people. Like Swerve did for the podcast, I did for music. I said, okay, how can I do this? I need a producer. Shout out to my man, Rich Lotta. Hit him up. Hey, bro, join the team. In 2020, he joined. Swerve, I think you could rap, bro. He didn't say no, but I never did it before.
Right. He was unsure.
I know you could do this. Trust me. Let's get in the studio. Taught him the metrics. We put out 3 group projects from 2018 2020. He just released his solo project. Now he has his own producers. He goes to the same studio as me.
Yeah.
He has his own people he work with, his own artists now he works with.
Fine.
It's great to see that build. I said, now I need a dual threat. I need someone that can sing. I need someone that can, that's a wrestling fan, but is also very talented. So I linked up. I found my man Anthony King on Instagram. Brought him in. Now he's doing recaps of AEW every single week.
Fine.
He found his way. I coached him, helped him out. He found the idea. Now he's doing recaps of each and every show every week.
That's fine.
So I built a team. Now, I don't hold anybody on any contracts.
Right.
I didn't do anything like that.
Right.
I
gave him the platform.
I gave him the platform.
Right.
Now, what they take with it and what they do with it. So now Rich has, made beats for Music Soul Child, John Connor.
Wow.
With the connections me and Swerve has made, he now has a elite resume. We're all now just releasing the AEW video games coming out, and we all got music on there together.
Fire.
The teamwork made the dream work.
Yeah,
brother.
big fact.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I studied. So what I did was, this is what I do in my pastime. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on bands and why they break up. Why these great bands and hip-hop groups don't last.
The mistakes they made.
A lot of times creative differences, it's ego. Somebody wants more splits of percentage and this and that. And I said, I never wanted to do that to my guys. Just because I found the situation don't mean I need to hold hostage the situation.
Right.
The one blessing I learned about life.
Here's the gems.
You got to let people grow. I totally understand. Swerve's on national television. He might have different opportunities than me. But I'm 100% fine with that because whatever he gets, it comes back to the team.
Yeah.
Not jealous of that man. I want that man to be the best.
Yeah, you want him to go.
With him having TV exposure, he's going to have different opportunities. With me having my music industry experience, I'm going to have the knowledge for different opportunities.
Yeah, he going to ask you because he trusts you.
Right. And then I'm going to have different connections.
Yeah.
He's going to have different connections.
Yeah.
My man Rich, Anthony, all of us had different connections. And throughout this whole time, I'm being mentored by Strizzo. So Charmello was my initial start. And then around 2017, 18, I linked with Strizzo. And he's teaching me the marketing side of the business. Strizzo teaches me Charmello teaches me the technical side, the musical side. Strizzo teaches me the business side. How to market your music, how to put it out, how to do Google ads, how to do metrics. He taught me everything on the phone, and Strizzo never charged me one dime.
Yeah,
because he believed in it.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He said, one day, your music gonna be on TV, bro. You gonna make it, bro. Your music gonna be all over TV. Keep going. He said this to me in 2017, 16. Now look at it. He was right. He said, keep going at it, bro. Lil Wayne the market, quarter the market. Do it this way, quarter the market. Keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna take off. Nobody doing this. Just talked to him the other day. He said, I'm proud of you, bro. Everything Dollar said happened, but you did it. And it worked for you. And he said you was unselfish. Because many artists are not going to put someone else on. They think that could be bigger than them.
Yeah, and
or a bigger profile. That's a win, bro.
Yeah. And if you trying to be that Diddy little, baby, the those things, you got to do that.
Yep. Talk about it. Talk about it.
I mean, it's the abundance mentality, bro. That's the biggest thing is like, yo, if you just have everything and everybody else has zero, then you got to divide that by the people. But if you got it, I got it, we got it. You add that up, that's more than what a lot of people have. And that's what people don't realize, man. They want to hold on to things. Yo, it's crazy that you said that because I always say the secret to life is giving because it comes back tenfold.
It does. That's what the whole theme of what we're talking about is you got to give back, bro. You can't hold everything. If you give an opportunity and they mess it up, that's on them.
Right.
You did what's universally right. And I didn't want to hold anybody, contracts and 20%. Somebody, I'm not going to say his name, but one of my industry friends. You got a guy like Swerve and you ain't, you like his advisor / manager / person. You ain't taking 20%. Dude, he just did a podcast for me on the podcast. And on our podcast, I sit next to the biggest names in wrestling in the world. In 2017, he gave me an opportunity. He didn't charge me a dime. And the one thing Swerve told me was, you're my partner.
That's fine.
And he had a bigger brand than me. He gave me an opportunity, Swerve, to do the podcast with him. So why in turn would I do that and then all of a sudden start charging him?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense.
And then he's going to look at it like, why didn't I do it to you?
Right, exactly. I could charge you to come on this podcast every time for the exposure.
Right.
He didn't do that. He invited me to the platform, and the one important thing Swerve told me, you're my partner.
That's fine.
So when we started making music, one day he was like, I'm kind of like your artist. I said, no, you're not my artist. You're my partner. You're not my artist. I helped you and gave you a catalyst, taught you the ropes. You do your own thing.
Right.
I'm your partner.
That's fire. Monteasy, dog, that's fire. What's the name of the pod that you guys plug that, man?
Oh, Swerve City Podcast, man. YouTube.com / Swerve City Podcast.
Fire.
We've had Chris Jericho, Samoa Joe, Charlotte Flair, Bailey, Tony Khan, the owner of AEW. We've had everybody, man. We've been doing this for 4 years now, 5 years now, man. We rolling, bro. Like, we've had everybody. You know what I mean? We've had Donnell Jones. We've had Music Soul Child. Michael Cooper from the L.A. Lakers.
Yeah.
The famous battle rapper DNA from New York.
Yeah, DNA, yeah.
Like, we've had everybody, bro. We've had and we're still rolling now. We're still consistent. We're still pushing. One thing special about that man, me and that man's never had an argument.
You and Swerve?
Never have.
That's fine.
We don't need, what's there to argue about?
Yeah.
Let's get to this paper.
Yeah.
You have an idea? Let's do it. If it don't work out, we'll reconvene.
Yeah. We'll look at it and do it different, right?
I mean, if he ever had, this is where it comes to the thing I told you about, the thing I do different from Sharmello. When me and Swerve ever went in the studio, he had an idea for a song, I never said I didn't want to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, you were open to everything.
I'm open to everything. Why? Because I told him, don't be me in the studio. You can't sound like Monteasy.
Right.
Be Swerve. Be Swerve the realist. Be you. And whatever idea you have for a song, let's do it. Because no matter what we say or how many things we try to do, you don't know what the people are going to catch to.
Right.
You can't call what the people are going to.
It may be the shit that you hate.
Right. But it ends up changing your life.
Bro, you said something, man. We talked about it this morning, and just the stuff like being bros and doing business. You know what I'm saying? Certain people can't, they don't like to blend the two, or they can't do that. Why has it worked for you?
I love this. I love this kind of talk. One, you got to generally like each other.
Big facts.
You have to like each other. You have to want the best for that person.
Amen.
I got to be able to do this and trust you.
Yeah, yeah,
You got your part, I got my part.
yeah.
If I could trust you at your word, no money is ever going to come between us. The one thing I told Swerve when we first started working together, or any one of my bros, let's not let three things come between this: money, ego, or women. I literally study things, like I said, things that break down. There's a computer game I used to play when I was 12 years old called Age of Empires. You start with a civilization of you start as one person, and you either have allies or opposing colonies that you're defending against. And you take this person and you build a townhouse, and you click the button and you bring in more people. It generates more people.
Yeah, it develops. Yeah, the build.
You take these people, you build a farm. You send one person to hunt. You send one person to build a farm. You send one person to start building walls to protect your colony.
Right.
You start sending one person to just build.
Yeah, yeah, teacher, all types.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, in order to, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying this, to the point where you take one person. Okay, you need more food in order to get more people, so you start making more farms. You start building more security, more they're called barracks. You get warriors on horses that can defend your colony. Then you start building fisherman docks, fisherman boats, and all of a sudden you take that one person and that person builds this whole colony, which is essentially what I believe in doing in business when it comes to my bros. You know what? You're an ally, right? You have a different business. My business is More to Life Entertainment, Teasy's Table, my podcast, Swerve City Podcast.
Right.
Youngest in the Yacht Club. This is what you do.
Yeah.
You might have gold. I have food.
Right.
We create a barter system and trade, sort resources.
Right.
We're allies. We don't attack each other.
Nah.
We don't mess with each other women.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I don't mean this in a bad way. Everybody besides my wife is fair game.
Yeah, right,
You know,
right.
you know
The
what I
main
mean?
ones.
Right,
The main ones. The main ones. Right.
Everybody besides the wife fair game. You
Right.
want women. You want resources. You want to come
Right.
party, drink at our club. It's the same thing with Age of Empires. You trade resources. You build. You don't have no ego. You build. You don't mess with each other's. You know, if somebody voluntarily gives you money to help you out or something, if you ask for it, if they want it back, cool. You don't abuse that relationship, but financially, you do things that's fair for each other. If my man's low and I got it, here, bro, I can look out for you. And that's how you build colonies. That's what I do in business with my bros. Look, man, you're my dog. If you call me on the phone and you need to talk to me about something, we'll talk about it. Life, me and Swerve, my brothers. Shout out to all my brothers, Anthony King, Rich, all my friends. Shout out to Chris Cage, who was at the party. Shout out to Strizzo. If we got to talk life, we understand what that conversation is about.
Yeah.
When it's about business, hey, bro, let's take care of this. It's done. Business-wise, it's done. Here you go. Send me the money if you need me to hit the connect. I'll send you the money, hit the connect. Bottom line, let's get business done.
Yeah.
When it comes to friendship, it's time to talk on the phone and be bros when you got to have that talk.
Right.
You know in the tone of voice when it's time for that talk.
Right.
That friend talk.
Right.
If you want the best for your brother, shouldn't be no problem. The problem comes in when ego, money, or women get into play. And when you need a moment, when you need to feel yourself, hey, bro, talk your shit. Feel yourself. And I'm going to be there rooting for you. When it's time for me to talk my shit, root for me. Ain't no ego. I want you to win.
Right.
I want you to be the best.
Right.
My overall goal when I started this, I said, okay, I wanted to be the best wrestler rapper of all time. If I can get Swerve to do this, my goal is to make him to be the best wrestler that rap of all time.
And that's happening.
And let's do this.
Right.
Let's do this.
Right.
So when he has certain opportunities and things like that, I'm not jealous of that man. I want that man to win.
Right.
Go win, bro.
Right.
Because you might have a resource that can help me.
Right.
You know? And that's where it comes by the Age of Empires, but I'll speak it again about resources. You have gold. I have food. Vinny hit me up. Hey, yo, Teasy, man, I need some farm. I need some more milk, such. It'll be there in 30 minutes, bro. I'm sending somebody.
Yeah. Had to go red.
I need some gold, bro. I'm trying to build this, such and such.
I
need this for my
It's
warriors.
coming. It's on the wagon.
It's on the wagon. It's on the way.
That's dope. That's it, bro.
Easy as that, bro. You have your space, your territory.
Yeah.
I have my territory.
Yeah.
Nobody's impeding on anything.
Nah.
You know?
That's fine, bro. And that's how you do it. And it's dope to see that you know what I'm saying? Because in Youngest in the Yacht Club, bro, you right, man. You see, 96% of beef is because of women. You know, the other 2 is because of ego and money, dog.
Yeah, dog.
So it's like, you know, wars are started because of this shit.
Yes,
you
bro.
know, like
most wars, and actually, if you think about it, it comes from women and money, and then ego because you don't want to lose.
Right. And so when you see in the success now, bro, you in your own lane, which is dope. I just dropped a mixtape called My Own Lane, so I like the fact that you in your own lane.
Salute, K.
What do you see for Monteasy in the next 3, 5, 10 years?
I see myself as not only be the ultimate name when it comes to wrestling music, but to take wrestling music and to make it where it's wrestling music, but it's not. I try to make the wrestling music that when you hear it, it doesn't sound like a wrestling record.
Right, it's like its own genre.
It's just in relation to wrestling. But it's not that. If you listen to my new song, Energy, I'm not saying anything about body slamming or nothing like that. I want to make it as normalized. If you could play it on the radio, it just so happens to be about a wrestler.
Right.
That's how I want to make it. So in 5 years, I want to be the undisputed lane and to take this to another market, to BET, to MTV, to Revolt, to these places and make that it. Second, I want to be the direct resource to help other artists get other opportunities outside of just
the Spotify campaign, the Apple Music, you know what I'm saying, the radio.
I want to be that direct connect to help other artists get that exposure and find a way to monetize to help them get paid for it. But even if not, find a way to be the direct connect for that exposure. Because I have relationships with all the wrestling companies, so I know what's happening. So to be able to be that direct connect to those people. And, 3, I want to be able to tell my story. I want to start doing motivational speaking engagements to not only artists, but the people to tell my life story, along with helping artists on what they could do to stand out, to be different, and find ways to find their niche and what they love. Even if you have a beautiful building right here about the like maybe New York or whatever.
That's Tampa.
Or Tampa, excuse me, pardon me. And if you rap a song about that building, that's something different.
Yeah.
You can rap in front of that building, get footage of the building.
Yeah.
It's something different.
Right.
Then you can make a lane about that.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing it.
Right.
So just help people find different lanes and line of work, you know what I mean, to help them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so kind of give them direction.
Right, and to be that source of connect.
Like a mentor, like Shamela was to you.
Absolutely, because he gave back to me. He didn't know me. He didn't have to. He saw something, like Strizzo did for me.
Right.
Strizzo, I was always a big fan of Strizzo. I watched him perform at the Last Damn Show back in the days a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, this man's my mentor. So he's one of the 2 people that it helped me get here. So, I want to be that as well. And to tell my story, motivational speaking, tell my story, take this around the world and help others, and really build my life story along with that and to build. That's why I see this next 5 years. Make this as the ultimate entrepreneurship and not only corner the market music, but corner the market in the sense of this opportunity to help others. I want to be that go-to guy to help others. You know what I mean? Because I know how it is as an artist, so.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. And bro, you doing it, man. You on the way. It's dope because even from just speaking with you, bro, I can tell that you're a man that knows what you want, and that's the direction you want to be in. That's a very powerful thing, bro. That's powerful, Monteasy. I like to ask this question because, and I feel like you've answered it a little bit with your story, but I like to ask this question for the viewers because
Absolutely.
Youngest in the Yacht Club, it means new money. Yeah, it means like we in here, people like us. But it also is kind of like, hey, look, this is the way we did it. Show the course and then light the way. So if you could go back to your younger self,
yes,
what would you tell your younger self? One piece of advice.
Can you give me an age?
I would say that you can go back at any time. So the defining moment, something that you think that you would tell yourself at this moment to define the moment.
I would speak to what I would do is I would go back into that pizza restaurant. I would sit next to my granddad and I would see the younger version of myself. That day when Flavor Flav was in there.
Okay.
I would sit down to him and I say, look, man, this is me about 20 years from now. This is me. This is how I look. A little heavier, but this is how I look.
But you're still good.
But I'm successful. Got a little gray in my beard. But listen to me, man. This is Granddad. This is me 20 years from now. The one thing that I want to tell you is to keep going the way that you're going. Don't follow the crowd. Take it a day at a time. Listen to what your granddad's saying. Listen to what your family's saying. Keep going, but do not stop going towards your dream. Find any way to make it happen, because every action you take towards your dream is a step closer to figuring it out. Stay consistent. Don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about how songs or what song is doing this or that. Once you get into this music industry, what you want to do, use that Flavor Flav first encounter as a catalyst to knowing who you are as a person. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about what song is doing what. Don't worry about who's listening in the sense of how many streams you're getting and all that. And also, too, most importantly, young Antoine, build relationships. Everybody, don't always try to reach here in the relationships or here. Reach here. Keep it equal. Reach people that you're equal with, because then it will reach to the taller people. Yes, you will eventually want to meet bigger people doing bigger branded things than you, but always keep this. If you keep their relationships equal with people that you're with, regardless of how the brand looks on social media or things like that, if they got more followers than you or you're more followers, young man, always keep those equal relationships, because that's how it builds, because you end up building your profiles together. You always shooting for the moon on the higher people. Sometimes you miss out on the people that's here.
Yeah. Yeah, the people right in front of you.
And like Joey Badass said, you need to be in 33% of each room. 33% of people who are smarter than you, 33% of the people who are equal, and 33% of the people you can teach. If you can keep those three things, you will always be successful. Because I'm always in a room with somebody that knows more than me a lot of the times.
And that's good.
Like, people that are more successful than me, got more money, stuff like I can learn from them.
Yeah.
Then I can sit here and we could be men. Me and you, men, we're here. We could chop up game.
Yeah.
Learn from each other.
Yeah. Teach each other.
That we learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chop up game. And then the people that are on the come up.
Yeah.
That you see something in them.
Yeah.
And then you want to build them up. So as long as you 33% it and you in different rooms like that, you'll win. So that's what I will tell the younger me.
That's fire. Bro, you gave the whole lecture to you. You gave him all that.
I don't mean to be long-winded, brother.
No, you gave him the whole game, bro. Like, yo, if you literally that sometimes we get the simple answer, But I love when you get in depth, man, because it's real. Like, these are the things that you want to do, and these are the things that are gonna help the people who are watching, bro. So
absolutely, bro. I always try to give game, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not one of them people, man. You got to pay for this information. You got to
see me and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
You know what I mean?
But click the button.
I understand for certain things, like deeper things, strategies and stuff like that. I understand trying to make a profit for a living.
Right.
But if this is just basic stuff that can motivate somebody, we're two businessmen.
Yeah.
Stuff that can really help people. You know what I mean? It's been great. Like, I saw on your stats that you charted for Billboard.
Yeah,
for
charted
your records.
Billboard. I charted Billboard, iTunes. I did it on the same day that we was on the My True Crime Story thing. So that was like the universe. You talk about the universe, right? It happened right as they were recording my episode for My True Crime Story.
Now, see, this is where we talk our crap, because we both have done that on iTunes.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I hit top 200 as well.
Yeah,
We out here making moves, brother. It's business, man.
Yeah.
Two successful entrepreneurs in the room. So,
amen.
I want to give you your flowers.
Thank you, brother.
I see what you're doing.
Thank you, bro.
Congrats to you, your wonderful marriage, your
Thank
wonderful press conference you just threw.
Thank you.
Your great music, everything that you're doing.
Thank you, bro.
Keep striving.
Thank you, brother.
And
real.
you know what I mean? Any other thing I could be of service or any way we can connect further?
Oh, we definitely go around. I'm glad that you came on the show, man, because I feel like I do learn. The reason why I love the podcast, bro, and the reason why I love talking with people like you is because, yeah, I get to ask the questions, but I'm really getting it one-on-one, the game. Like,
absolutely.
It's like, this is like education for me, bro. And we talked about it, man. Like, you talked about it just now. It's like, you're finding lanes that aren't the Spotify playlist, get on Rap Caviar. You know what I'm saying? You're finding your own lanes that are the road less traveled, man. And that's important to know, man. You're paving the way for other people, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's the long road travel takes a while for people to catch on to, but once they get it, once they get that moment, they got you for life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You got them. And it takes a while. Shout out to my manager, Marcel, when I did an interview with him in 2017. I told him what I was doing. My manager, my day-to-day guy, he said, it's going to take them a while to catch on. But when they do, you're going to be out of here. Yeah. And now seeing...
Bro, Swerve was the number 2 trending thing yesterday, man. I just told you this, man. So the fact that, you know, somebody in the circle is the number 2 and you have a direct line and that's your partner, bro. Congrats, bro, because that, like you said, when he wins, you win, bro.
Absolutely. And it's great to see, man. I'm proud of my brother. I get a direct line to know what's happening. So
you see the behind the scenes.
I see everything. I'm backstage with him. I'm everywhere, brother. And I brought him backstage. Like the very first concert he did, Strizzo was the DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The fact that you guys came to the conference, I also want to tell you, man, like you guys, it was awesome because, you know, we didn't even know that you guys were going to be there like that. And you guys came through. Not only were you there, you guys were panelists and you guys brought something different to the media panel, man.
Thank you, bro.
That it needed to be said. There were so many different people there, and the fact that you guys we were able to ask you guys questions. You guys are real people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's crazy to see that you know you guys are approachable, right? And that's the thing, right? Don't be afraid to talk to the people. You know, put yourself out there. You guys are just real solid, dog. So I want to give you your flowers, bro. I know you killing it, and I thank you for coming on our show because you know I know it's gonna work both ways, dog. So
absolutely, brother. The universe works both ways. It's all about chopping up game information. It's all about, you know, not letting your head or ego think you're bigger than anybody in the room because we're all men and equal people at the end of the day.
Big fact.
Just like you're up here, you can go down here.
Big fact.
Life is all about valleys and peaks, and people that you meet on the way up are going to meet people that you meet on equal level or the way down. So treat everybody equal. I always believe in treating the janitor how I treat the owner. You know, man, thank you for the invite.
Thank you.
Thank you to Strizzo for the invite to the press conference. It was great to be able to chop up and get relationships because just like you need the world connects, you need to connect right where you live in too.
Yeah.
Everybody matters.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it, brother.
Bro, tell the people where they can find you. I think that's I don't want you to I want to make sure that people
Absolutely,
know.
bro.
And plug everything, bro. That's what this is for, bro.
Absolutely, man. You guys can find me on Instagram at TZ Jones, on Twitter at TZ Jones. You guys can subscribe to the YouTube channel for the podcast me and Swerve do at youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, you know what I mean, share, show love, please, wrestling fans or not, comment and show love. My platform, TZ's Table, my podcast is on there. Have a few special interviews I just recorded in my last season. So make sure you guys find out for all updates on my TZ's Table podcast that I do. Hopefully one day I can get into something like this outside of Zoom, but you know, the universal call for it.
Big facts.
You know, make sure you guys tune in, subscribe to the channel. You guys can also, you know, hit me up at monteasytv@gmail.com for all, you know, questions, resources, booking emails. Don't message me nothing crazy. You know, also too, you guys can go on all distributing platforms, you know what I mean? Not only to check out the podcast, Swerve City Podcast and TZ's Table, you guys can download all the music. I have a song right now out with R&B legend, Music Soul Child, called Pressure. Wrestling record, shout out to Marina Shafir from AEW, who's in the music video. Just recently, once again, released my song for Sammy Guevara called Energy, his new theme song for AEW. Make sure you guys show love, you know, and comment, subscribe to that, download it, stream it, and show love, man.
Teasy,
That's
what is it on Spotify and Apple? Is it Teasy Jones?
It's Monteasy.
Monteasy.
Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
On Monteasy, search Monteasy on all distributive platforms. You know, Teasy Jones is kind of like an acronym of just a name. I kind of like Wu-Tang rappers. Other members used to have like 7 nicknames.
Yeah.
The Iron Lung, Johnny
Lung,
Smoke,
Johnny
Blaze. So that's kind of like how I adapted that. So when you see Teasy Jones, Lord Raiden, the Titan, that's all me. It's just a Wu-Tang. It's a salute to Wu-Tang. Like, what name you go by? It's Monteasy.
Monteasy.
But I have different acronyms. I do kind of nicknames like the Wu-Tang did.
Nah, bro, dog, you're doing it. You're killing it, and I totally appreciate you being on here, bro. We definitely got to have you again, man, because I know when you do offer those things for other artists, and when you do that motivational speaking, I mean, you're already doing it, man. I feel like it's just gonna get bigger, man. We're gonna have you on there, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, brother. Let's chop up some ideas.
Yeah.
Outside of this and see how we can
let's make it happen.
Make something work, brother.
Thank you, my guy.
Peace, K.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
Bye.